Extreme open water swimming has a long history in South Africa. The first recorded swim being in 1909 when Harry Hooper swam from Robben Island to the old Cape Town harbour. It took him 9 hours and 36 minutes to complete this historic swim, and he was heralded in Cape Town as a true champion of champions. Welcome to Super Swimmer. Today we feature highlights of the 2009 KD's Robben Island swim, one of the world's greatest and most extreme sea swims. A fog bank moved in over the Cape Peninsula 2 days prior to the race, and an eerie calm hung over the bay around Robben Island. It was 9 a.m. The start was scheduled for 10, but there was no way that the race organizers were going to let the race take place under these hazardous conditions. We spoke to the boat crew of the race favourite, Tyrone Fenter.
How are you hoping if I can just say, you've got to try and beat that female swimmer, Natalie.
We dropped him off this morning at the entrance, and there she got out in front of him, and I'm like, oh, but there's your nemesis. Morning, Natalie, how are you? I was telling the guy she was like a torpedo last year, man. She just bolted through it. No, but no, he's strong. He reckons.
Approximately 150 smaller boats patiently waited out at sea. The swimmers had already been dropped off on the island by ferry, all anxiously waiting for a change in weather conditions and the much anticipated start. The inclement weather had already caused the race to move from a Saturday start to Sunday morning. Peter Bales, one of the founder members of the modern Robben Island swim, explains.
Yeah, that is correct. We really wanted it to happen yesterday, but there was a very strong and nasty westerly blowing with rain, ice cold wind, so that although sea temperatures were probably the same, the air temperature and general conditions were extremely nasty yesterday, and there's no doubt that was the right call. The water temperatures that we've taken off Oceana and off Blouberg early this morning both give readings of 13 degrees, which, although very cold, it is acceptable. The weaker swimmers, of course, will battle, but hopefully we will have a bit of sun on our backs, and the event should go well.
While the swimmers patiently waited on the island, the beach at the finish in front of the Big Bay Surf Life-Saving Club was becoming a hive of activities. Regular strollers were surprised to see that the normally quiet stretch of beach was now transformed as event organizers and lifesavers began their preparations. Back to Robben Island.
I've coached a lot of swimmers who have done long distance. 30 years ago, I actually swam this distance and I broke the record. So it's almost a comeback swim. I turned 50 and I decided it's time to come and try again. I'm a bit nervous with the cold water and the mist and everything, but I'm sure it'll be fine.
We just have to wait for it to lift. The sun's shining, the water's flat, perfect for a long swim. We just need the mist to lift, and yeah, hopefully it will.
Otto, great seeing you here. Another Robben Island swim. How many of these have you done?
I've done over 10. I don't know the exact number, but normally we do it when the conditions are nice and no, it's not too difficult. Whereas today it's going to be a tough one because it's very cold, and of course this fog is causing a bit of a delay, which everybody gets tense about.
I'm actually quite excited. Had some issues with my shoulder, but nonetheless I'm swimming with a very good friend, Otto Tanning, who's really not new to the game, and we're looking forward to a lovely swim.
The finish of the KD's Freedom Swim is on the famous Blouberg Beach. Entertainment was laid on for friends and family as they waited for their swimmers to finish. The race delay had less impact on the spectators. There was plenty on offer at Bloberg.
You've done this many times before. This long wait, this is a bit of a first.
It is my 8th year swimming Robben Island. It's only been cancelled once due to some happenings on Bloberg Strand, but I think definitely never ever had a delay like this. I think because there's so many people and because everybody's wanting to swim and do the swim, the conditions are great, the sea is flat, we're just basically waiting for the mist. So I think it's not really an excuse to sort of lay off for the swim, especially for such a good cause of Vista Nova, the money going towards Vista Nova. So I think that's sort of what's basically deep in the swim, is the school and the charity part of it. I wouldn't say charity, but them gaining a bit of money from it. But I think definitely, it's going to be a great swim. Water looks great, and I must admit it's the flattest conditions I think we've ever had in the swim.
Paul, rumour has it that for the last couple of months you haven't been in serious training as such. You had a bit of a layoff.
Yeah, no, we missed the swimming this year at Masters, but I was sailing. But I've come back now to Cape Town and found out that you can actually wear wetsuits for a Robben Island swim this year. Got a team of guys together, and there's 4 of us, and we're going to do it, and it looks like a lot of fun. The weather's clearing, and hopefully have a great little race.
Yeah, it's my 5th year now. Never ever had a problem like this before. Normally it was cold and wet. The fog is a bit tricky though. You never quite know if it's going to get worse or better. But like I said, we don't mind waiting. It's a charity swim, so we'll sit around, talk, share stories, and just hope for the best. Hope it happens.
Tyron Venter, who won this event 2 years ago, was beaten into 2nd place by Nathalie Dutoy in 2008 and wants his title back.
Yeah, it was a good day. So world record 133, never out of reach. Once again, it's just flat seas, good conditions. Now it's just getting through the cold and willing your body on. How much do you want it?
By midday, the fog had cleared over the island, but there was still a thick fog bank over the sea. Event organisers agreed that if the race did not start by 2 p.m, it would have to be cancelled. And then the news came through that everyone had been waiting for.
25 to 2, we start the swim, everyone together.
The race was on. After a 3.5-hour delay, the swimmers could finally move down to Murray's Beach on Robben Island for the start. We caught up with Barkai, CEO of the sponsoring company, Katie's.
Yeah, look, in my job I make a lot of tough decisions every day. I think the important thing is to make sure that we're making the right decision. We get all the information that we have from NSRIs, from the doctors, from the swimmers, from the boatsmen. I think we made the right decision. We're all adults at the same time. If we need to call the swim off after 2 kilometers or 3 kilometers, we'll call the swim off. It is an extreme swim, and it's a tough decision, but I feel comfortable that the swimmers made the right decision.
You seem deep in thought.
Yeah, I'm just worried about my wife on the boat who's been there for 6 hours, probably wants to divorce me.
You part of the wetsuit brigade?
Yeah, one of the wetsuit sissies. Not brave enough for the solo yet.
What does that mean? In a wetsuit, do you get warm, or is it still bloody cold out?
It's still cold, but your wetsuit traps a layer of water between your skin and the wetsuit, and your body actually warms that up. So we're probably swimming 18 degrees, 19 degrees when they're swimming at 12 or 13. So it does make a significant difference. So.
Well, if they say it's good to go, then we're going on with it. If they call it, then we'll have to listen to the authorities. But looking forward to it if it is green for go.
Oh, that's a swim P3. So I'm going to be listening to some music and take my mind off the temperature. And got some rock music in there. Got something with rhythm, with a beat to give me, try and get it in tune with my stroke. Trying it out for the first time. Hope it works. See you on the other side.
I think the water feels good. Everybody's got different comments, and we're just going to go out there now and see what happens. 3 hours cut off, so just to enjoy it.
And finally, at 1:35, after a 3.5-hour wait, the swimmers took to the water. Natalie's winning time of 1 hour 55:52 at last year's race should be bettered. Tyron Venter and Natalie were positive that with the favourable conditions, as they are this year, a fast time can be set. This aerial view clearly shows the threatening fog bank. If it moves in over the swimmers, the event will be cancelled immediately. With Robben Island Harbour at their backs, the swimmers and their support boats make their long journey to Bloberg Beach. Robben Island, one of South Africa's famous World Heritage Sites. The island's most prominent inmate, former President Nelson Mandela, formally launched the Robben Island Museum in December 1999. The living museum attracts thousands of visitors annually. For nearly 400 years, it was a place of banishment, exile, isolation and imprisonment. Yet today, it is a symbol of hope. Freedom fighters like Mandela and Sisulu emerged from here to lead South Africa to democracy with a message of tolerance and reconciliation. An initiative of hope that moved the world. It's just 5 minutes into the race, and as the swimmers get into their rhythm, it's important for the boat crews to identify their swimmer and join up with each of them. And already, Natalie du Toit, seen here in the blue cap, has taken a slight but early lead. Next to her, keeping a watchful eye, is John Dickerson. For several years, John and Natalie swam this event side by side, but John has now decided to do the crossing another way, but still assisting Natalie. There's Natalie in the background with Tyron in second position and looking very comfortable. Remember, the water temperature is about 13 degrees Celsius. These swimmers have 7.5 kilometers to cover, and most of them will be in the water for between 2 and 3 hours. The two youngest solo swimmers are brave 16-year-olds Robert Mason and Ross Horwitz. Barkai, who is recorded as being the swimmer to swim in the coldest, most southern water in the world, is also doing this crossing. Andrew Chin, who joined Ram in his 1 degree Celsius swim in Lake Zurich, is also in the field. Several English Channel crossers, including Ryan Stamruit, is also braving the Cape water today. From the helicopter, a shark spotter is also a further precaution. KDs, the event sponsors, and ambassadors like Natalie du Toit have used this event to raise funds for the Vista Nova, a Cape Town school for children with special learning needs. Let's briefly break away from the cold Atlantic to look at this beneficiary. Crystal Arnold explains.
Cape Town hosts the KD's Vista Nova Freedom Swim every year on Freedom Day. This initiative was launched for the benefit of the Vista Nova School for Children with Special Needs. We visited the school for more insight prior to the swim and got to know the beneficiaries better.
Vista Nova accommodates currently 417 learners, and they present in a variety of different ways. Primarily, we're a school for children with cerebral palsy. We also accommodate numbers of children who have been the victims of motor accidents, children with other physical defects or disabilities, learning disability children. We have children on the autistic spectrum as well, and all of them require some specialized intervention. They are not able to cope in a mainstream environment.
KD's is a financial services provider and the main sponsor of the event, and also sponsors the Vista Nova School.
KD's has certainly come to the party in a big way as part of their corporate social responsibility. They have just this year made the first of 5 contributions to our school of 100,000 Rand, which makes an enormous difference in a humongous pond of need. We're delighted at this involvement. It's a relationship that's gone on for some years now, and we, as I say, are looking forward to a 5-year relationship with KD and hope that it will last a lot longer than that.
Unfortunately, these children are unable to participate in the swim. However, they are a big part of the festivities on the day.
We're very aware that for them the race is that of spectator, because many of them are too young or don't have the physical capacity to participate in the swim. But we have children, a group, who are going to be handing out the medals to the swimmers as they beach themselves. Others will be putting blankets over them, beanies and that kind of thing. The children also, there's a huge program for beach activities for the children. Some of our staff are involved there. We have entertainment items planned so that it's a family day. Our parents can come along, the general public, and any children who come along are very welcome, but ours have special jobs to do.
Time for a quick break. Don't go away. Back to the Cadies Freedom Swim action. The fog has lifted, and for the first time, visibility is good. Swimming solo in the ocean is daunting, dangerous, and lonely, but very invigorating. 7.5 kilometers is a long, long way to swim in the swell. 43 relay teams competed this year. Here we see Team Kuisquak and the Wave Riders. Strange names, but very competent swimmers. Relay teams are made up of 2 to 4 swimmers who alternate every few minutes. And it's here that event organizers have seen the biggest growth, with schools and development teams eager to compete. This is a typical changeover. The all-girl team here, the Fantastic Four. The guys in this team felt they would rather be involved than watch, so they all got in and swam. We are now 50 minutes into the race, and although the fog bank was still threatening, it was lighter, and the swimmers were now giving it all as they knew they had to finish. The Fantastic Four relay team again. This swimmer feeling strong and really going out fast. Or was it just for the camera? One of the team members was Dominique Driding.
This is my first one, so yeah, I did it really
Dominique is one of the promising up-and-coming junior swimmers who is winning many medals, both open water and in the competition pool. Our 272 swimmers were in safe hands, with sea rescue boats keeping an eye on our swimmers and in constant radio contact with one another in the event of any emergency. This is the 4-kilometer mark, just past halfway. Some people will go to any length to do a crossing. Whatever way, the going is tough. The Swiss visitors were well prepared, as their swimmer attempted the Robben Island Channel for the first time. The long wait and cold water made the attempt more strained than anticipated. Gauteng master swimmer Philip Chappell was better prepared. He surged ahead, taking 3rd position overall. Relay Team Turbo get ready to make another change. Back to our leaders. Natalie Dutoy seems to be getting stronger and stronger as she glides through the water. Team Turbo make their change. It seems a lot harder getting into the boat than off. With John Dickerson close at her side, Natalie has taken a bit of a dog-leg line to the finish. She has swum these waters many times before and can anticipate the currents. Tyron Fenter, on the other hand, has taken a more direct line to the finish. Natalie has a slight lead, but not much. The fog had almost lifted and was much less dense than earlier. Number 63, Anton Buerta, is looking good for a top 5 finish. Excitement was now building at the finish. The activities continued. The leaders were only a few minutes away. Now, for the first time, race organizers can make out the different craft. and have some idea of who the lead swimmers are. The finish is now in view, and as the adrenaline starts pumping, they pick up their stroke rate. Tyron's crew is telling him just 1.7 Ks to go, and for the first time in the race, their feet start kicking faster. At the finish, the crowds begin to move down to the water's edge. Plenty of shouts of encouragement from Tyron's boat as they edge him on. He's still lying in second position, 15 seconds behind Natalie. John Dickerson gives Natalie her last few instructions. From here on in, it's a sprint to the beach. And there you see Natalie on the left of the screen, Tyron on the right. Natalie is now approaching the back waves. With only one leg, this is the part of the race she hates most. And on the beach, the word is out that Natalie is in the lead and should win the race for the second consecutive time. It is going to be close, but Tyron does seem to be drifting a bit right of Big Bay. And there is our 2009 winner of the Katie's Freedom Swim, Natalie du Toit, defending her title. An amazing feat. The crowds gather round to just get a glimpse of this amazing star. Not only an Olympic and Paralympic swimmer, but also a role model and inspiration to so many. Natalie's time of 1 hour, 35 minutes and 45 seconds is her fastest over this distance. While all the attention was focused on Natalie, Tyron Fenter finished 50 seconds later to take the silver medal. An exhausted Natalie was probably dying for a hot shower, but being the person she is, she stayed just a little longer to greet her fans. The first relay team to finish was Koos Kwak and the Wave Riders. Well done to Paul Blackbeard and his team. The second relay team to finish was the ladies' team, the Fantastic Four. For the next 2 hours, swimmers of all ages, shapes and sizes were met on the beach to receive a medal, a beanie and a towel courtesy of Katie's and Spirulina.
That was pretty good actually. No, we're very happy. I mean, 4 50-year-olds and we had a great time and it was good.
No, it was lekker. It's a bit cold at the end, but otherwise alright.
How many have you done?
That's my first one, with a relay. It was good.
First swim. You're cold.
I'm freezing. I'm so cold. Like at this point in time, I don't think I ever want to do this race ever again. But once it gets insane and warmed up, I'm sure we want to do it next year again.
World champion Paralympic swimmer Shireen Shapiro will be back next year.
Yeah, it was great. We heard the temperature was like 11.5 when we left, and I don't think we've been training water like that before.
Why?
But
You can't find it.
I can't feel my nose. But, I don't know, but you don't feel the cold on a day like
No, it's too much to think about for the cold, so it's good fun.
Thanks, Ryan. Thanks, guys. Go for it. Go warm up.
The cold had taken its toll.
Ek kry baie koud. Maar is lekker. Ek kan klaar te maak.
This was my 12th crossing.
probably one of the best. Conditions were perfect after a long wait on the beach.
Very nice, yeah. Very nice swim, water nice and warm, flat, great conditions.
Wow. Oh, really great. Really great.
That's my first one. Did it with my mate Milton, and this morning, I mean, we thought we weren't going to make it out here, but it was great. It was wonderful. The water temperature wasn't so bad. It wasn't as bad as I thought it would be.
And to the learners from the Vista Nova School, it will be a day they will never forget. It was their task to meet the swimmers at the finish and reward them for their successful swim. And so, as the last of the swimmers complete the race, the Katie's Freedom Swim for 2009 draws to an end. A memorable day and well worth the effort.
Oh, but it was so much fun. It was such a joy, yeah.
Here then confirmation of the solo results. Next up, the Katie's Freedom Swim team results. We caught up with winner Natalie Dutoy.
Yeah, I think I went out there, I think I had a bit of a constant pace going, and I think that's sort of where I am in my training at the moment. I haven't been training for about a week, so I'm glad to have gone out there and just enjoyed the swim. Flat conditions, it was a fast race. Got it over in 1 hour 35 minutes, where last year was over 2 hours. So I think it was a great swim. Eventually, after the whole morning of waiting to finally be able to swim, I think it even sort of generated sort of more positivity and made me go out there and swim a bit faster. So it was really, really good.
Having John Dickerson on the paddle next to you as opposed to swimming next to you, advantage or disadvantage?
I think this race started with Vista Nova, and especially with John was one of the parents that started the actual Robben Island swim. So with him, it's very, very special, and thank goodness he still paddles with me. Otherwise, I'd be sort of lost without him. So hopefully he'll be back next year, and we'll complete the race again together. I think he promised me that this year, so he'll be out there.
Well, 2010 promises to be a great year. We will be in the spotlight of the world, and once again we will show the greatest extreme event from Robben Island to Bloberg Strand. The Katie's Freedom Swim.